Hello.
I see the headphones, sir. Gonna get him proper mic check.
Proper.
Are we even live, bro?
No idea.
Are we even live, bro?
No clue.
What happened here, bro?
Not a damn clue.
What happened here, bro? What did I do, bro? What did I do wrong, bro? Here we are. Okay. Now we can hear me. Oh god, let's get the cranking sounds out of here. Oh god, who are you? Alright, first of all, who the fuck are you?
I don't know anymore.
I gotta apologize to you, man.
No headphones?
I can get you a pair if you want. You'd love a pair? Alright, I'm gonna pause this.
¿Cómo estás, Marshall?
Bing, bang, boom. Panda, 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 panda,
panda, panda.
What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing?
I don't have any tea for you, man. We're
Yeah, I know.
we're textbook poor men.
Textbook.
But
as you know, I don't read textbooks, Marshall.
I've noticed.
So,
You're illiterate.
yeah, unfortunately.
So here's what I got for you today, man. I made you a hot beverage. It's not tea.
Oh, I've looked at the top of it. It looks kind of looks like when you watch the show Cosmos, and you see some shit like you don't know what it is, but it looks pretty.
Oh, the universe?
Well, yeah, but like I mean, like you don't know like specifically what you're looking at in the universe. You're just like, oh yeah, that's the universe. But you're not like, oh, that's Andromeda and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea what's in that cup.
Okay.
It looks pretty and it's probably healthy for me.
Do you want me to tell you in one word what's in
No,
that
I don't
cup?
want you to tell me anything about that cup.
Alright, so despite that, I'm going to tell you one thing about that cup. If you want to set me up for the joke, you'll say, please tell me about...
Alright, can you please tell me everything about the cup?
I mean, it's just the universe.
I'm sorry, I had nothing for that. This is a beautiful cup. Where'd you get it?
Oh, the man who canceled me on my previous podcast.
What a rude human being. Who would do
I was
that?
supposed to do a podcast with earlier today, but I had it's my own fault, man. I have communication issues. I'm not so good at phones.
Yeah, me neither.
But a young black man named Taki, who I don't know if you met Taki, but he recently got out of jail.
His name's Taki?
I think so.
That's an interesting name.
Right?
Yeah.
He's got weird stories, man.
Yeah, he does.
He got kicked out of high school
I
for
don't
weed.
know.
He's making me some jiu-jitsu clothes.
That's dope.
He's one of my few sponsors, man.
Yeah.
He's one of my sponsors for jiu-jitsu, and I think you are as well. You've given me like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you just gave me this jacket. I think that counts.
It's true, it's true.
I think we're gonna take it really far. I have
Good.
I have big news that I've told you, but I haven't told the podcast universe.
What is it?
I got a one-way flight to Taiwan, dog. I'm
When?
out. January 9th.
Damn. My heart's heavy.
Time to take this bitch abroad. Second time in my life I've had a one-way ticket to
Nice.
First
Nice.
time, August 2013. I was a young white boy. young white boy. I was trying to say white belt. I was a white boy.
You're both.
I still am, right?
I mean, you're not white belt anymore, but...
Am I, though? I think I still am, man. You never get rid of your white belt. Like, they don't take it from you.
You compile on top of the white belt.
Yeah. Do you know, like originally a black belt was just a dirty-ass white belt?
Makes sense.
Like, it goes white, brown, black.
Makes sense.
You just get it dirty as fuck.
And then...
Go do some judo.
You know, it's funny, you get a black belt. I've seen black belts that have been used so much are white.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. It's like life is circular and endless.
Mind blown. Oh, man. You killed my brain with that one.
Yeah, sorry about that. So you want to teach me how to rap, or what are we doing here?
Teach you how to rap?
What am I paying you for?
Damn. That's where talking comes in good. I mean, I don't know anything about talking, but I would assume, just being a racist person, that he's a great rapper. Yeah,
well, to fulfill stereotypes, he's actually an amazing rapper.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't want to perpetuate anything here, but...
would have never guessed.
You know, a lot of stereotypes are true, so... I'm going to light some incense. This is a really heavy conversation, man. We're not off to a good start. I apologize to everyone. Panda was sitting here banging a drum, and it really just upset me to no end.
It's true. So, I tend to do that. I tend to upset people with my drumming.
Yeah, so we're just going to sit here for a while in silence and watch this incense burn.
This is the fragrance of our ancestors. Mai Nichiko, fragrance for everyday use. I don't know if you guys know, but we are in possession of Japan's #1 brand of incense. Here exclusively on the Tales of My Cock podcast.
It's not how it's pronounced.
How's it pronounced? I'm not good at pronouncing things. English is not my native language. I'm sorry.
It? What's your native language?
Spanish.
Really?
Yeah, this is my first language I learned.
Cool.
And then I forgot it when I went to school. But I understand it all.
Okay. I got a good phrase from you. You took me to your grandma's house the other day. And I learned a lot about cooking. Mm-hmm. I got fed by my Mexican grandmother that I've never had. Mm-hmm. And I learned a good phrase from you that I've been saying to everyone. Just look them in the eyes and go, claro. Claro.
That's a good one.
So unlike anything, like any dumb question, claro.
It's a good one, dude. You can't go wrong with that one.
Hey man, that drink in your hand's really weird looking.
Claro.
Claro.
Claro que sí. You can add that.
It's a pretty dope cup, man.
Claro.
Hey Panda, you have a beard.
That's the cool thing about Spanish. Claro. That's the cool thing about Spanish is like you could really say like any word, like every word is limited to the amount of meanings that you can evoke yourself through your own expression.
Eboa.
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 Boa.
Molto boa.
Mucho boa.
No eboa.
No eboa.
No eboa.
No eboa.
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 Sí. Claro.
Claro.
Eboa.
I'm sorry, audience.
Oh, this isn't a video podcast. We should put our clothes back on and stop dancing at the moon.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, I don't apologize at all.
Hey, so I've been paying close attention to people speaking Spanish because you have filled my idea with crazy head.
I filled your ideas with crazy heads, I know.
I'm speaking anorexic today.
Like these heads.
Yeah, it's not a video podcast. You can't just show over in your shirt. But it is Ganesh sitting on a pile of skulls.
Okay, well.
And what I'm trying to say is you've been filling my head with crazy ideas.
Oh, okay.
Of heading south. Currently, we're broadcasting from North America. And you've been telling me, in the spirit of my boy Chris Quam, former podcast guest, right after we released a podcast 1 year ago, drove from San Diego to, I think he's in Colombia right now.
Dude.
He's posting pictures. He's got dreads.
Wait, is that Pedro?
No, so that was Quam.
Oh, okay.
Pedro's also been on the podcast.
Okay.
Pedro put his love into that drum, and he went off to be a businessman, and left the drum behind.
Oh, so opposite.
Opposite what?
Like opposite directions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quam had an office job, and then he quit it and drove south to Colombia.
Oh.
Pedro went back to school, got his master's degree. Now he's hustling in Washington.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super hustling.
Gotcha.
Can't return my phone call because he's a capitalist.
Oh.
He's busy.
Yeah, busy man.
Yeah. Oh, very busy man.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff to do, man.
But hey, thank you, Pedro. Your drum is being played. It's a magical drum, pretty sure.
It's getting love for the first time in years.
Yeah, man. And it's really, really just... It's like a genie that just hasn't been touched in a while. And just now it's granting all the wishes.
And lucky for us, man, you live with some sort of drum savant.
Yeah, I don't like to throw, claims out there too much, but I'm pretty sure musical genius.
He might be the prophet.
Might be the prophet. Yeah, might be the musical prophet.
It's beautiful to see, man. I've only had the opportunity of sitting in the studio one time, and it was on your birthday, and I don't think you were enjoying yourself because you were keeled over with laughter with a drum in your hand.
It's true.
And I was personally crying laughing at some points, and I'm really not into that.
Belly laughs?
Yeah, like
really
laughter from the soul that cleanses out your eyeballs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I have an addiction.
You're addicted to belly laugh?
Yeah.
What's your go-to way? How do you belly laugh?
I mean,
you gotta pay a lot of money.
A man with my addiction to belly laughs will find no end to get it. Yeah. There's so many ways. I mean,
do you upset people with your laughter?
Sometimes.
Like, dude, that's not something you should laugh at.
Yeah.
But you're too busy laughing.
Exactly. I find it's actually a real concern because I feel like my laugh could be loud. Like I'm not good at quiet laughing.
Snickering.
It's hard, and I feel like it's more rude.
To snicker? You know what I mean?
Because because then you're acknowledging that they don't want you to laugh, but you still gotta laugh, and it's like it becomes this weird thing. Whereas like if I just fully let go of my natural feeling to laugh, then it's like you can't really be mad. I mean, I guess you can, but then you're the asshole.
Try to be mad.
But if I'm snickering, it's like I'm acknowledging. Like I should have just probably walked away. Or no, fuck that. Like you should just laugh, and you should just not take it.
You ever laugh personally. And then someone looks at you cross, and you're like, "Hey man, I'm sorry I exist."
All the time.
I'll just end this shit right now. I'm sorry.
Honestly,
sorry I laughed at your fart. It was really hilarious.
Honestly,
you farted. I laughed. I'll kill myself. I'm sorry.
I find that it's a good way to preface any social situation.
Laughing?
No. But starting off, maybe it's starting off laughing. No. You gotta start off.
What are you gonna say?
You gotta start off by saying, "I'm sorry I exist, guys, but I love you all."
Hey guys, I apologize for my existence. My name is Marshall. It is nice to meet you all here. I should start the podcast that way.
Yeah, you should give people a warning.
Here's what I was thinking. Here's a crazy idea I have. So you are very good at music. You live with the Prophet. You guys have a recording studio. I have a podcast. I could use audio recordings. What about some sort of thing of, I don't know, music? Some sort of
like
music.
an intro?
I don't want to throw labels around.
I feel you.
There's no binding agreement here.
Something.
Some sort of sample.
Some sort of magic.
Some sort of talky speaking in rhymes, rhythmically.
Very easy to do.
Rippity rapping.
We could totally do that. Matter of fact, like on SoundCloud, there's one of Taki's favorite songs that he did that like he forced Adam to release it even though it wasn't mixed.
Beautiful.
So if you ever want to look at that.
I'm for sure playing at the end of the podcast. How do I find it?
All right, perfect.
I'll
text it. It's on SoundCloud. Let me find the link and I'll just give it to you.
Oh my god, this guy pulling out his phone on the podcast. Dead air. Everyone stand by while Panda looks at his phone.
Sorry I exist, guys. So that drink you made me is actually very delicious. What's in it?
It's bulletproof turmeric, bro.
Damn, dude. Is that it? It's just hot water and bulletproof turmeric? Bulletproof turmeric? Bulletproof makes turmeric? It seems like a scam.
No, it's regular kitchen turmeric with
coconut oil and butter, black pepper.
Okay.
I use the word bulletproof for drinks made with butter and coconut oil. I don't know. I know it's also a company. I don't buy their things.
So yeah. Oh hey, I found that song.
What's it called?
It's called Water.
What?
It's by Taki. Taqee.
Q with no U?
Q with no U.
Oh shit. Do you know the only other Q with no U I've ever met?
Who?
Kasim Ghaffar.
Ooh.
My chess instructor.
Ah.
He taught me how to take those bitches. Any of you chess students out there? You take your bitch to the center of the board, fuck him up, take his bitch. What's he gonna do next? These are not my words. These are the words of Sensei. I don't know how to say his full name.
Yeah, I don't know how to say Taki's full name either.
Kasim Ashton Ghaffar.
Oh, dude, this is like a tongue twister. It's crazy.
One of the many questions I have for Taki. Moving right along. You have questions for me, man?
Yeah.
Set me up.
So I heard you know something about tea, and I don't know shit about tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
You want to talk about tea without drinking tea? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I mean, apparently, but that's because I don't know anything about tea.
So some people would say what we're drinking right now is tea.
Yeah.
I think this is a misuse of the word. Because we got hot water and other plants. Right? We got turmeric. Turmeric's a different plant than tea.
Yeah.
Tea is Camellia sinensis. Comes from China. Since then, it's been distributed places.
Yeah.
Grows tropically. The only place in America I know of that has good tea is in the big island of Hawaii. Can't grow in California. There's no fucking way. It's absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't grow in England. It's the wrong climate.
But every time I go to the store, there's all this like British tea, English tea, English Earl Grey. That's not good shit?
So it can be. You never know though, because the British, they just kind of learned about tea not that long ago. See, tea is Chinese. It's 10,000 years old.
10,000 years old?
At least. In Chinese culture, things that are infinitely old are 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
And that so happens to be when people started agriculture, they started having farms, they started not moving around so much, have little permanent things, started farming tea. So a more scientific way to say it is they've been cultivating it for 10,000 years.
Damn, dude.
So the oldest medicines.
It's a long time.
Basically, any ailment you have, you go to a Chinese doctor, and they'll say, well, did you try drinking tea? Because what is tea? It's hot water, the single healthiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Once it's to an appropriate temperature, don't drink boiling water.
Yeah.
Your mouth knows this. Your hands know this. You can't really fool yourself into doing it. Once it's cooled down, it's the healthiest thing in the world. So according to Chinese medicine, man, hot is always healthier than cold. Always. You know why?
No, I don't.
Because our bodies are hot. The inside of your body is hotter than the outside.
Yeah.
So when you're putting something into your body, it's easier for your body to receive if it's hot.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And luckily, if you heat up food, it becomes more nutrient dense. I don't know if you've seen, like I've been grilling a lot of spinach.
Yeah.
Sounds weird, right? But I put it above, like, where I grill the meat. And so you put in a whole, like, I mean, how do you talk about bowls? A popcorn bowl.
Yeah.
Put in, like, all that, like, size spinach. Like, basically all the spinach they'll sell you at one time. At, like, a normal grocery store. And you cook it, and all of a sudden it's way smaller. It's, like, 20% of the size.
Yeah.
Heating things up is always healthier than eating it cold. And what's the other ingredient in tea? You got hot water and fucking tea leaves. What could be healthier than that?
Dang.
And nothing else to it.
Are there different types of tea leaf? Like, I've been drinking yerba mate.
So yerba mate is a South American plant. It has similar uses to the tea we're speaking of, Camellia sinensis. But it's a different plant. People use it similarly. They add hot water. It's got caffeine in it. It's healthy as shit. Super big in South America. If you go to Argentina, you can't really avoid not drinking it. So I hear. Haven't been to South America yet, but based on what you're telling me, it's inevitable. Pretty excited. First, I gotta go to Asia first, though. So yerba mate, there's no judgment into what I'm saying either. Like, yerba mate is just a different plant.
Yeah.
In the same way that marijuana and tobacco are just different plants.
Gotcha. So it wouldn't technically be tea.
Right. Okay. From my perspective.
Gotcha.
From the scientifically, it's just a different plant. Similar brewing method. People in the West tend to use tea for any plant with hot water. Gotcha. I do not. That's not what I'm talking about.
So, like, if I want to have, like, tea.
Chinese tea?
Yes. Where do I start? Like, what do I do?
So it can be a bit overwhelming, man. Well, see, you're asking these questions facetiously. You've been taking me to this tea shop in Fountain Valley with Aunt Betty. Do you know the name of this tea shop? Can we shout them out?
Yeah, we can't. Ooh, I don't know the name of it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know either.
Lee Tea, I think.
How'd you find it? Fountain Valley?
I looked up Pu'er Tea on Yelp.
Pu'er Tea?
Yeah. And then I figured the only real tea people would have it. And she was the only shop that came up.
And she's legit, man. She's Aunt Betty. She's my new hero. When I'm older, I want to be Aunt Betty. At the age of 50, she opened up a tea shop in Fountain Valley. Now she's 70. And I'm willing to bet she's healthier now than at 50. Because all she does is she sits there and drinks really good Chinese and Taiwanese tea. See, Chinese culture has been through a lot in the past, like, 150 years. Like, it was fairly intact from, like, I'm gonna make up some numbers, but a couple hundred years to many thousands of years, Chinese culture was intact. It never got invaded or completely overthrown. It never got burned to the ground. It kept going after over thousands of years. And then the communists took over, which everyone kind of knows about, World War II era. The communists took over China and fucked up a lot of things. And one of the things they did, actually many things, I'll just say a lot of things they did. They killed artists, they killed kung fu practitioners, they killed scientists, and they murdered unproductive tea farmers and caused general tumult in the country.
Jesus.
So any country that goes through tumult, the economy is going to go ridiculous, as it has and still is. And so there's a lot of money and a lot of old tea farms. And so some corruption has been had in the tea industry of China, understandably, as it has to have been, because the country's gone through so much in the past 100 years. And so when the communists took over China, the government who was in opposition of them left China and went to Taiwan. And they took with it a lot of culture, a lot of tea seeds, a lot of people who saw their colleagues getting murdered went to Taiwan. Preserved some of the culture. And Taiwan's not big, man. It's like the size of like if you drove maybe like Santa Barbara to San Diego, something like that.
Damn.
And like an hour inland. It's about the size of Taiwan. And so it's all just mountainous. It's the same latitude as Hawaii, so it's green as fuck.
Damn.
Super green, super mountainous, tea farms all over the island.
Sounds terrible, man.
It's a really depressing place.
Yeah, I really
it's tropical. It's Chinese. It's the best parts of China. It literally, in my mind, it's like on a map, if you look at China and Taiwan, it's like if someone squeezed China and like a little like of its like best parts came out. That's Taiwan.
Damn.
It's directly to like the southeast of China. It's east of Shanghai. And it's literally like they just kind of, all right, let's just get the good shit out of here.
Damn. I never want to go there.
Where?
Taiwan.
Taiwan?
Yeah, I never want to go there.
Oh, I hate to break it to you, man, but they also have a lot of good jiu-jitsu, amazing food, and it's cheap as fuck.
I'm definitely not going.
So I'll be going there January 9th. Book your seminars now. I'll be doing private lessons of what can I pretend to teach? What do you think people would believe that I can teach that I actually can at all? Capoeira? I could do fake-ass capoeira videos.
Fake-ass capoeira.
I could do some fake-ass capoeira.
Yeah, you could do some fake-ass capoeira. Maybe some, like, fake-ass, like, weird wrestling.
Oh, for sure.
Some fake ass
Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
Like,
Some
like
throws.
I think I know what that means.
Teach him throws.
I think Greco-Roman is. I think I'll know what he'll be doing.
You learned an Uchimata the other day.
I did. I was. I didn't quite hit it, but it's useful in wrestling.
Yeah.
Just even that idea of like they have the underhook, so.
Yeah.
Because my whole life I was just scared of underhooks. I was like, oh no, it's over. Mm-hmm. And I would just like tap and like fall down, cry.
No more.
Yeah, as of a week ago, I'm back in it.
Yep.
I'm back in the game. And perfect timing, man. It's competition season. I got competitions before I leave, man.
Oof.
I got one this weekend in Montebello, and then I got one next month.
Where's Montebello?
I don't know.
Is that LA?
What the fuck? Is this a geography podcast?
Maybe.
Because I know about Taiwan and know where Montebello is.
You might.
Yeah, it's LA somewhere.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then next month, Nogi Worlds. Yeah, be careful of that drum, man. You're gonna blow out eardrums.
Yeah, I know. It was way too loud.
I mean, unless you know someone who can, like, edit sound and shit. Because I don't know how to do that.
I don't know.
You know, someone like a full studio who, like, could save eardrums. I don't know. Anyone listening, just comment if you know anyone named Adam who could do these types of things. I think our incense went out, man.
It's a bad sign.
I know. I feel like we should turn these lights on too.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
You gonna hit that young pause?
Yeah, pause. We back, and we back, and we back, and we back.
Hello, everybody.
So you asked me a good question back then that I didn't even answer. How many types of tea do you think there are? How many types of tea do you know?
Okay. I know of 2 types of tea.
Out of a total 5.
Yeah, I think 2.
What you got?
Maybe 3. So there's... Wasn't there just red tea and green tea? That's all I know. Oh, and white tea. But like, there's oolong, there's pu'er, there's green tea. Or is oolong green? I don't know, I get confused. That's why you're here.
So just to clarify, it is very confusing.
Thank you.
So the most popular tea in the world is black tea. Mm-hmm. Black tea was found by the British. It was the first one they started bringing back to England in like the 1800s.
Good black tea?
So not quite, because when the British showed up to China and they tried to trade with them, they brought, I don't know what they're trying to trade, but like rugs and like swords, like just British stuff. Like they can't grow anything. Yeah. Nothing really grows in England. Maybe they try to give them boats or something, like just some sort of object. They got laughed at. The Chinese didn't want anything to do with them. So they weren't allowed to come all the way into China. They weren't allowed to come up the Yangtze River to the big cities. Mm-hmm. They had to deal with the Chinese through one port in southern China. Do you know the name of this port?
No.
It's still in operation today. It's British as fuck. It's being... since 1997, it's been under the process of being reintroduced back to China. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's Chinese control, but it's kind of its own entity right now. Mm. It's one of the biggest cities in the world. You don't know? Mm-mm. Hong Kong.
Oh, shit.
Hong Kong.
Damn.
The British secured Hong Kong specifically for the tea trade. Really? Because it was that important. Like, as soon as they started bringing it back to England, it was the thing that was selling the most. Because, you keep in mind, like, they're going really far for these trips. Yeah. Like, you can picture England... They're going around Africa. Yeah. Part of the reason they colonized Africa was for this tea trade.
Yeah.
So, it's my phone. Yeah. How embarrassing.
You're going to blame me, huh?
Oh, I was so mad at you.
I could see it in your eyes.
So they set up all these colonies in Africa for this trade. That go all the way around Africa. Picking shit up everywhere they go. Because they don't care. Like, they just want to sell something. Yeah. These guys just need money when they get back. They have families. Mm-hmm. It's been 3, 4, 5 years since they've been home. Mm. They can't come back empty-handed. So they'll get whatever. They don't really care. They didn't have to be tea. They weren't, like, tea enthusiasts. Yeah. They were trying to sell whatever. And tea was the one that was selling. But the tea they were getting was, like, from the docks. Like, can you imagine, like, showing up Like if you showed up to America and were looking like to buy some weed, and you showed up in Long Beach, and like just talked to like, guys who work on the docks, they'll get you some weed.
Yeah.
They can probably get you a lot.
Yeah.
No guarantees that their price is going to be fair.
Yeah.
No guarantees that the quality is going to be good. They can get it for you.
Totally.
But if you want like the good stuff, you should probably see who's like the number one rated farm in Colorado right now. That's probably the best weed in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Humboldt, California. Go directly to the source. The British could not do this for tea. They could not go to the farm because they couldn't get into the country. Chinese didn't want them. Right. They did not let the businessmen in.
Yeah, like, fuck you guys.
You guys can have Hong Kong if you want.
Yeah.
And so it created a fucked up situation where tea became the biggest selling thing in England.
Yeah.
Because before that, do you know what people were drinking for breakfast?
What?
Beer.
Oh.
That's how you
Why
get.
is that?
That's how you get calories in a cold climate. Because the bread is gonna go. You can't just keep bread around that long.
Yeah.
But that's what their main crop was. It's wheat, rye, whatever those brown grains are. And so then they started trying to get it to last them, so they could continue eating calories and not die.
Yeah.
And so they made beer, and so beer saved most of Northern Europe. That's why it's still like one of the biggest things they do.
Yeah.
And so they're drinking beer every day for breakfast, like just to get your calories in, and then going out and trying to function in the world and think deep thoughts and like continue. And so tea comes along, and all of a sudden, you have a way to get your water.
Yeah.
Because, you know, water's not so safe. You should boil it. So you boil it every time for tea. How fucking convenient. By this time, there's other means of calories.
Yeah.
No one's just relying on beer. It's kind of like an old thing they're still doing.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, their father did it, his father. But, you know, now there's all this other food. Like, they have all these colonies and shit. So tea comes in and completely changes the whole society.
Yeah.
It's what people want. It's what they're willing to pay money for. The British keep trying to trade with China. Keep saying, like, no, guys, you don't understand. We need this tea. We need it. We'll give you anything you want. Do you want our women? Like, no. You don't want your big-ass women? No. Maybe some. But but they just kept trying to trade them. Like, kept trying. Like, guys, you want gunpowder? They're like, dude, we've had gunpowder. Like, you want fireworks? Like, have you seen our fireworks? There's just nothing they wanted. The only thing they would take in exchange for tea was silver. Hard silver. That was the exchange. You want our tea? We'll give you silver.
Wow.
So it's the most expensive thing for them, right? And the tea they're getting is not that good.
Yeah.
And it's coming a really long distance. And it's coming on a boat full of sugar from the various slave routes they've established in the Caribbean and South America and Africa.
Yeah.
And cows from all over the world. So you have milk, you have sugar, and tea invading the country at the same time. Super exciting. So they started mixing them. And it's great. It's fantastic. It's very luxurious. If you have some tea and it's not that good, and you have some milk and you have some sugar, you're gonna make a drink that's pretty enjoyable. But it's one of those things that's like, it started because the tea wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just sit there and like it's not full leaves. You know, like, if you go to the weed store now, you get like an eighth, and they're basically giving you like a branch. They'll give you like, there's a big ass stem, huge ass nug. Yeah. Essentially, these guys are coming off the boats with like shake.
Yeah.
They had big ass leaves and like twigs and like some buds, but they're all kind of like fucked up.
One of my roommates bought some tea at Rouse, and they're like, "Look, I got some good tea." And I looked at it, and I was like,
"Was it in a bag?"
It was in a tin can.
Hidden from view.
It was in a tin can, and it looked like shake.
Right?
Yeah, it literally looked like shake. And I mixed it with lavender.
Exactly. So lavender's another plant, a different one.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful one. Smells great. Tastes great. Different plant.
Yeah.
And so when you have low-grade tea, which, you know, for whatever reason, there's a lot of good reasons to have low-grade tea. It's cheap to get. It shouldn't be wasted. But if you mix it up with other plants, you add mint, you add chamomile, you add yerba mate, you add any of these other things, It can be salvaged.
Mm-hmm.
The tea we drink, directly from Taiwan. It's organic. It's big ass leaves, man. Some big ass leaves.
Is there chi in the tea? That's the main question.
So, what do you think chi is?
I'm asking questions, bro.
So in Chinese thought, chi is just the underlying fuel for the universe. How did the universe get started? Well, at some point there's some chi. The chi divided into yin and yang. Some stuff's light, some stuff's dark, some stuff's heavy, some stuff's light, some stuff's big, some stuff's small. And then from there, it went from 2 to 6 to 10,000. And that's where we live now. The world of 10,000 things. Again, in Chinese, they're thinking a little smaller than we are now.
Yeah.
10,000 just means infinite. If you're looking around, you can count 10,000 things in your eyesight right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we go on Google Earth or something. You count a lot more.
Yeah.
If you're just using your eyes, the universe is made up of 10,000 things. And so chi is what just gets you going. So when you are not feeling so good, you have low chi. If something's injured, it's a lack of a flow of chi. I'm butchering this. Anyone listening who actually knows is cringing. But for anyone who knows nothing, it sounds like I know a lot.
That's the market.
And so here's all I know. Here's my point. A big thing that all the tea drinkers tell me, and these are like the real deals, all the guys who've been doing it 20, 30 years, the black belts in tea, which I am not. I do not claim to be. I am only the false prophet.
Yeah.
What these guys tell me is that tea is the quickest way to get the chi from the forest into you. So when you drink tea, you get all the essence of the place it was grown, which is why going to the farm is such an important thing. Go there, look around, meet those people. How do their eyes look? Look into their eyes. Listen to the plants.
Do you listen to plants? That was my other main question. Do you listen to plants?
I try to. I've been making an effort to. Because every time I do, I get good results. But it's hard. Like, one of the easiest ways for me to listen to plants is to sit in my backyard at this table with airplanes flying overhead, giving me ideas of promise, reminding me that I can go far. And I sit here and I listen to rock music. I don't know if you're familiar with rock music.
Rock music?
It's pretty good. And I listen to rock music and I sit here and drink tea and collect my thoughts. And invariably, my thoughts go to some place. I'll use the word extraordinary in the most literal sense. I have a pretty good idea of what my thoughts are on a day-to-day basis, and when I'm sitting alone drinking tea, sometimes under the influence of some other plant called marijuana, my thoughts become ordinary, but with a little bit extra, a little bit of that chi fuel. And under these thoughts, I tend to think that life is good. They tend to point towards laughing with friends. They remind me that that's very important.
Belly laugh. I'm addicted.
And I don't know if you've never worked in an office, man, but like...
I have.
Okay, so...
Sucks.
I'm just going to assume more things about you. So you've never... But my point is, man, like, in an office, belly laughter is kind of frowned upon.
Really?
Kind of, man. Like,
actually, yeah.
Not explicitly, but if someone walks in and you're just keeled over with laughter, immediately they're suspicious. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Doing drugs on my watch?
Ah.
Something like this.
Dang.
I can't say, I don't want to speak for, but I've been in a lot of offices, man.
That makes sense.
I was an intern at Jack in the Box Corporate when I was like 19. I had a tax accounting job at 20.
Yeah.
I've been in offices, man. I had that accounting job when I moved back to Costa Mesa like 2 years ago. I had a couple temporary ones since then. They all kind of have that looking out of your eye at the next person. I'm not sure you can trust them, but you have to sit next to them all the time.
Yeah.
You have to be in close proximity with people that you absolutely do not love. And when you don't love someone, but you're close to them physically, distant emotionally, distant mentally, it's hard to share a belly laugh. This is why I think
it's discouraged for sure. Because it's like, hey,
subtly.
Yeah.
Subtly.
For sure.
They'll never tell you, hey man, don't fucking laugh around here. They'll never say that. They can't say that. That'd be ridiculous. They don't even think that. No one person thinks that no one should be laughing. That's what I think. But the situation kind of calls for it. Which is why I think it's so fucking important to have places like jiu-jitsu gyms, drum circles, music of every kind, comedy shows, places where you can go in and just be like, you can take off your mask that you have to wear at work, hang it up for a little while. Because you know from jiu-jitsu, man, like no one gives a fuck what you do if you're at jiu-jitsu. No one's, I mean, people might ask you your job or like what your favorite hobbies are just to get to know you, but like it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is if you smell bad.
True.
Which I've been guilty of for years. If you are rude.
True.
Which I've been guilty of. If you are selfish.
True.
Which I've been guilty of. If you are reckless. Which I've been guilty of. If you put others in danger. Which I have. These are the things that matter in jiu-jitsu. These are the things that matter at the tea table. Tea is the great unifier. They say the farmer and the emperor drink the same tea.
It's true. It's true, obviously, right?
This idea kind of got corrupted when the British came in and started stealing crumbs and claiming that as tea, giving that tea to the emperor, giving that tea to the queen. It's kind of different.
Yeah.
But in China, it's like a big equalizer. It gives the rural class a lot of power. It's like, that guy drinks the same tea I do. It's nicer. It's maybe
nicer
it's cleaner.
Cups, nicer cups.
Definitely nicer cups.
Teapots.
Nicer cups, nicer teapots, but those things don't matter that much.
Yeah.
It's the tea leaves, where they came from and where they are now, and who they're with. So if you drink some really good tea out of... what's like the shittiest thing you can drink out of?
Like
a cup. A styrofoam cup that you have no sentimental value, no attachment. It's like a gas station cup.
Yeah.
If you put really good tea in that and sit there with someone you love, you're gonna have a good time, no matter where you are. The power of the forest will be there in your hand. You can look at someone, and I hope you can laugh. You know, if someone listening can't laugh, like that's its own issue. And I feel for you. I've had those days. I know exactly how that feels. Especially stuck in an office, especially when the weather's not so good, especially when my bank account's low, when things aren't really looking up.
Yeah.
You know, I've had days where I can't laugh.
Yeah, it's really hard to visualize good when you're not in the good. So easy to do it when you're like when life's life's dope.
Even more the reason why we need these practices. You need to wake up every day. At least I do. And if I don't meditate, I feel off. Do you know the last time I did that?
When?
Today.
The last time you didn't, or the last time you did?
Last time I did not meditate.
Oh.
It's today.
Okay.
It's been a rough day.
Ooh.
I convinced myself that I have staph infection on my stomach. Posted it into the 10 Planet Forum looking for advice.
I noticed that.
Got it's probably not staph. Not yet. Could be.
I think you'll find it.
I have this whole plate of food you can see. This isn't a video podcast, so only Panda can see it.
I did see it. I did see just like a big ass plate of food.
It's a big ass plate of food. I made it for myself and found I could not eat it. An interesting thing in life. I've had lots of bulletproof drinks today. It's not my first. I have some calories coming in. Yeah, it's interesting, man. But these practices that bring us back to laughter, they're more important when things are going good than when things are going bad. Mm-hmm. Because you are what you habitually do, and when things are going badly, that's when you need them the most.
Totally.
In the dead of winter is when you need the biggest laughter.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I see you.
So, there are 5 types of tea.
Okay.
A confusing aspect is that the tea the British were selling is black tea. That's one type of tea. The first type is black.
Yeah.
In Chinese, it's Hong Cha.
Hong Cha.
Cha being the character for tea. Mm-hmm. All tea has this name as the second part.
Yeah.
Hong means red.
Yeah.
So red tea in Chinese is the same as black tea in England. Mm. It only changes name on the boat.
Yeah.
So that's really confusing for people.
Mm-hmm.
Black tea and red tea are historically the same thing.
Gotcha.
Now it's kind of a branding issue. Mm-hmm. You sell more if it's called black, even though technically it's red.
Yeah.
It looks red. It's hard to get tea that looks black, but, you know, it happens. What else you got? Black tea. It's the second one.
White tea?
White tea. White tea. If you want some caffeine in your life, white tea. I've had many days, like, where, like, in college, when we really got into tea and, like, a bunch of my friends were buying it, and, like, you can go to someone's house and just be like, kind of like, you know, what tea you got?
Yeah.
One of the few times in my life I've had that. I've kind of set it up other places in my life, like just getting people to buy tea and then showing up and be like, no, that's crazy. It was the most in college. And the most in college was when I was trying to party the most as well. So I'd have days where, like, around this time, like, the sun just went down, it's winter.
Some white tea sounds good right now, dude.
You're not feeling so up. It's, I mean, I kind of want to go, I should go to jiu-jitsu, but drink some white tea, and you're fucking powered to the moon.
Yeah.
It's, like, the word caffeine gets thrown around a lot, so people, it's like that word tea where it has scientific basis. Mm-hmm. It is a thing, and it's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a measurable thing, but it gets thrown around a lot to where it gets confused with chi. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so white tea has both. A lot of chi and a lot of caffeine. Uh-huh. The third type of tea is green. Yeah. Green is a little sturdier than white. Yeah. A little stronger. Like as a plant. Like if you boil it, it'll get bitter, but less so than white tea. Yeah. White tea is very delicate.
So low temperature?
Low temperature.
Steep it for a short time.
Yeah, so it depends what you're working with. You know, if you have a gaiwan, like you literally, if you're dealing with boiling water, you'd pour it in and pour it out, like that quick. I guess quick as you can do it. Mm-hmm. Pour the water, close the pot, pour it out the pot. Mm-hmm. You want to steep it for like 3 seconds.
Gotcha.
Green tea is where it's getting a little tougher.
Uh-huh.
You can brew it a little longer, but not much. A little hotter, but not much.
Yeah.
This has a lot of caffeine in it.
Okay.
Green tea is easier to grow. It's much more popular. Took the fuck off in Japan.
Yeah.
Japan brought back some from green tea seeds from China, and they took it to a whole nother level. They do a thing where when the tea plants are almost done, they bring shade over the plants to freak them out, basically. All of a sudden the plants think the sun's gone. So the caffeine spikes. The flavor intensifies. Everything about it changes. Then they harvest it. Then they take it one step further. See, the tea we drink, the tea we've been talking about, you pour in water into the plant. Then you pour the water out, and you have a liquid. The Japanese in their green tea grind the plant into a powder so that you drink the entire plant with the liquid. You pour in the powder, you pour in hot water, you whisk it together until it's nice and frothy. A very delicate process in of itself. Not something that people can do on their first time.
Yeah.
But you can do it on your 1000th time. Everyone can. And that's called matcha. That's like, if you want to just devour a tea plant, that's the closest thing. You get the liquid, you get the caffeine, you get the chi, you get directly into your bloodstream.
Sounds great.
It's amazing.
That's why Aunt Betty really likes green tea.
Of course she does. She's an old lady. And green tea is very feminine. So black tea is stronger than green tea. It can take more. You can brew it stronger. It's not going to go... You can't really make it bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way, green tea, like if you boil it for 10 minutes, it's going to be bitter. No one's going to like it.
Yeah.
Everyone can tell, like, oh, no. Black tea, you can't really do that. So those are the types of tea named after colors. And just to make it more confusing, the last two are not named after colors. Next one is oolong. Oolong.
I like oolong.
It's been too long since the oolong.
It has.
Oolong is what we have in mass coming to us. Oolong is the official tea of Taiwan. 95% of all tea in Taiwan is oolong. Oolong.
Gotcha.
Oolong translates to dark dragon. Oolong is a tea plant that comes out as a leaf and is rolled up into a little ball and roasted.
Yeah.
They darken it and they roll it up. They roll it up so that when you drink it, it unravels as it contacts hot water. So the longer you steep it for, the more it unravels.
Yeah.
The more times you steep it, the more it unravels. And each millimeter of unraveling releases new flavor. There's flavors throughout the leaf. So you catch them at like stages. This is why when we drink tea, we pour a bunch of little tea leaves into a teapot, and then we pour water in it and pour it out real fast. So we catch the tea at that stage. We keep the water the same temperature, and the tea leaves keep changing each time.
Yeah.
That's the trick. You're just getting a snapshot of the tea leaves at different times. That being said, we can also be rich men and just drop some fucking tea leaves in our cup and pour water on it and wait until it's cold enough for us to drink, and then drink it like that. And at that point, you're just getting the full flavor of the leaf. You know what I mean? As opposed to getting the snapshots.
All of them together. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. It's a different way to do it. Oolong is like... They say it's the tea for connoisseurs because you can go so deep into it. Like, we can have a good time. Like, anyone listening to this who doesn't know about tea, do not get, like, intimidated by oolong. Like, you can put it in your cup and put it in hot water and enjoy the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But if you want to go deeper into it, if you want to really explore, you can. It's fractal. You can keep going. You just keep going into, all right, what's it like in this teapot? What is it like at this temperature for this amount of time? And keep like, okay, this time on the 10th steep it was like this. What if and keep changing it and running these experiments every day of your life. And each time you do it, you'll have these thoughts. You'll keep listening to plants. It's very meditative. All of a sudden your life is better just because you wanted to understand the flavor this tea could bring you with like river water or like whatever like difference you're making.
That aspect of tea has really drawn me into the whole tea world because I've been cooking like for a long time, just like watching my grandma grow up, and like mom cooks too. Like I just picked things that like no one ever really taught me to cook. I just kind of picked it up by watching and just started doing it and started doing experiments every day kind of thing. And like at first it wasn't the greatest cook, but now I can like go into a kitchen and just look at some ingredients and like I'll put something together, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be good.
You be careful with that wire in your microphone, bro. Sorry, what you're saying was beautiful.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the same with cooking, where like you just start doing a bunch of experiments, and then eventually the smiles on people's faces that you give the food to get like bigger and bigger, and you're like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Are you trying to say that if we do something in this life, the first time we might not be good at it, but if we keep doing it, we'll get better?
It's exactly
through practice? Are you saying that every single person listening could improve at everything in their life if they just did it more?
True.
Do you know the word for this in Chinese? This idea of improvement through repetition? Kung Fu. So in America, Kung Fu means...
like silly martial art.
Yeah, guys who break boards or throw stars or something. Kung Fu in Chinese, in its literal definition, just means the more you do something, the better you are at it. So what you described, Kung Fu cooking. The tea we drink, Kung Fu tea. Proper pronunciation, Gung Fu cha.
Gong Fu cha.
Gung Fu Oolong cha.
Gung Fu Oolong cha.
Gung Fu Hung cha.
Gung Fu Hung cha.
Gung Fu Lu cha.
Gung Fu Lu cha.
I don't know how to say white. And the last type of tea. You know it.
Jasmine.
Marijuana.
Hey. No, I don't think I know it.
So we've done 4 out of 5. Black, green, white, and oolong.
Okay.
You already named it, bro.
What, jasmine? Pu'er.
Pu'er.
We didn't talk about pu'er. Oh, okay, I thought we talked about pu'er. No, yeah, that's my favorite. My favorite.
So, all the types of tea so far were named after, like, their appearance or how they're prepared. It's what they look like. It's what you do with it. Pu'er is the only one named after a region.
Yeah.
It's like champagne. Can't have California champagne. Can't have American Scotch. Scotch comes from Scotland. Champagne comes from France. Pu'er comes from southwestern China. The Pu'er region. Pu'er is a city in the area of Yunnan. You know how many fucking times I start a sentence not knowing if I'm going to be able to say the factoid at the end?
I feel you. I do that a lot too. And sometimes you'll get to the spot where you have to lay down the factoid and you're like, oh shit. Gotta play this off.
The southwest region of China known as southwestern China. So pu'er comes from that area, and they used to use it as currency. And what they would do, because southwestern China is close to the Himalayas, it's close to Tibet, a lot of the tea they'd be sending that direction would be on pack horses. And so what they discovered is one of the most efficient ways to package tea is to compress it into discs. They look like frisbees. Traditionally 357 grams of tea pressed together and into like a disc. Like you could kill someone with this disc.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Like if you have a disc of pu'er and someone's like trying to rob you and you throw the tea at them, it might knock them out.
Dang.
If you have a good throw, it's not a good example. If you mount someone and beat their head in, it's done.
That's why they've already got someone mounted. You
Right.
gotta beat them, man.
Yeah. Let's speak to higher truths.
If anything, you can mount him, give him some tea,
Right.
change his life.
It's a good end.
Why are you robbing?
It's a good. It's a
Some
good
of this
note.
royal tea.
I'm fucking exhausted, man. We just talked about so much tea without drinking tea.
I know it's tough.
You know what I was thinking about? This is something that I heard when I used to be a student at the Tea Sage Hut in Taiwan, so I really learned about tea. It's a very nice cult. But I was thinking about this today, man. You know an insanity that a lot of people do? Because being in the moment is like a cliched thing to say, but here's a really good example. People eating food while talking about other food. You ever cook for someone and they're like, "Oh, dude, this burger I had last week."
Have you ever had?
Dude, the risotto.
No. Start eating their food.
You cannot be enjoying a food in front of you while mentally being where you were when you had that food in a sufficient enough way to speak about it.
Crazy desire.
I mean, it's not just that, but like you can't be here. Like your brain only has 120 megabytes of like processing power at any given moment. So your brain can process things at this speed at different moments. Like you can enjoy this food now and like that food later. Like, you can't, like, enjoy this food and spend the energy to think about the last food and the energy to speak about it. Like, when you're speaking, like, the way we do this podcast, one of the things I enjoy is that there's literally no room for anything else. Like, if I told you how long we've been talking, you'd be completely blown away.
Yeah.
Because your sense of time is off.
Totally.
Because you can't be thinking about it. You haven't looked at that phone in a while.
Yeah.
It's calling for your attention, man. Mine was very upset that I've not been looking at it. It was screaming.
It's true.
It was begging for attention.
I felt it.
And so in the same way, I couldn't talk this way and look at my phone. And I can't eat food and think about other food. One that I struggle with, because this is the same idea, is being somewhere with someone and talking about being somewhere else with somewhere else.
With someone else?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. whatever form
that's
that takes.
Rude. That's like rude.
But that's storytelling.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Right? That's gossip. That's most human interactions. Hey, man, or later I will.
I was hoping there was a beep right there, too.
Oh, shit.
That was crazy.
And you want more messages from God. You want more signs from God than that car horn.
Yes, any more, please.
And these planes telling us that we, too, could fly out of the country to anywhere we want. Do you know how new planes are? Do you ever think about this? Like, how long ago did they just not have planes?
Like, not that long ago, really.
Not that long ago. And now we can fly anywhere in the world. Yeah. And it's cheaper than ever, and it's only getting cheaper.
That's really exciting.
These companies that own the planes these days, they're almost all in negative financially. I used to be better at speaking like this.
No.
They're losing money. They're going out of business.
That's a good way to put it.
But the demand for flights is not going out of business. The technology for airplanes has only gone up. Like, I don't know the newest plane you've ever been on, but it's not that new.
No, they're always...
Not that new.
They always look like they're breaking apart.
Yeah. So what other industry has, like, old technology? Like, imagine trying to sell some, like, old phones. Like, that's a terrible business.
Like a library?
Yeah, libraries are going out of business. Librarians, their jobs are getting cut. They're already replaced with robots. They're already self-checkout. Self-checkout libraries. It's a thing. Damn. If it's not in every library, it's coming. And cheaper flights are coming. And I don't want people to forget that. So, you heard it here first. I don't know how to turn that into a stock tip or anything, but...
I think we got a solution on this whole, like, talking about tea but not having tea.
What you got?
I think we need to have a tea drive.
Bro. I don't know what the fuck that even means. What do you mean?
So guys, if you heard this podcast, you want to ingest some chi of the force, then, know some people that sell tea. Come bring some money by, get you some tea, get you drinking some tea. There you go.
Here's what we can do for you guys. $30 to Patreon, my Patreon account, link in the description, link on the Facebook page, patreon.com, Tales of Macaque Podcast, $30. Send you 100 grams of incredible pre-selected Taiwanese, organic, loose leaf, packed with chi, motherfucking delicious, no sugar necessary, plant-based water tea.
Boy.
More details coming soon. I think it's gonna be an ongoing thing, though, man. I think we can just do this forever. We call it a tea drive to get interest. And
what can't tea drive last forever?
Because a drive is more of like a one time, or like a once a year, or like a periodic. We could do a tea drive every month, but that sounds exhausting. You're just talking about a business. Guys, give me $30 anytime between now and the time I'm dead, and I'll get you 100 grams of Taiwanese oolong straight to your house. If I have some bowls around, I'll send you a bowl.
Yeah, the business is called tea drive.
If you don't get a bowl, use a fucking mug. Use a styrofoam cup from the gas station. There's no excuses, guys. I know tea's it can be intimidating. You can get a nice teapot and spend a lot of money, and you can fuck it up, and you can break it and feel terrible. Or you just put some leaves in a mug, and your life improves.
I'm telling you, you've never had tea unless you've had the tea, the real tea.
And my next move when I get some tea in the mail, besides drinking it myself, is I'm going to take a bunch of these weed containers I have, fill them up with a sample size amount of tea, and I'll leave them at 10th Planet Monster Squad locations with, more info.
Free chi.
Free chi!
That's cool.
For the community.
Ooh. And on that note, I think we gotta play water.
So I think I'll just download it and put it on there. Maybe we should listen to it right
I brought that water to the beach. Damn, I flipped that sand up on the weekend. Yeah. I got no conscience, no retreat. Hey, my niggas wildin' for no reason. I brought that water to the beach. Damn, I flipped that sand up on the weekend. Yeah. I got no conscience, no retreat. Hey, my niggas wildin' for no reason. Hey, I feel like a hippie, got rich in my city. My bitches real pretty, but live with no pity. They don't give a fuck, better duck and get 50. Don't give a fuck, better duck and get 50. She hurt me, she with me, she purposely bit me. Forgive me, I'm just so in love with this baby. No, really, I couldn't give up on this bitty. It's love, might buy a cup for the bitty, them drugs. She got me spending my money on her. Then find the dinners with designer fur. I'm riding with her, but she riding on hers. On hers, yeah, cause she suck on my dick till I'm dead. I treat her like activist, I don't like red. I don't got a problem with nothing she says, but when she don't take meds, she act like that water to the beach. Damn, I flipped that sand up on the weekend. Yeah. I got no conscience, no retreat. Hey, my niggas wildin' for no reason. I brought that water to the beach. Damn, I flipped that sand up on the weekend. Yeah. I got no conscience, no retreat. Hey, my niggas wildin' for no reason. Hey, got mad about the water, left her by the shore. I met her by the water, I left her wanting more. Yeah, I met her by the water, I left her by the shore. Let her by the water. Fucking with these different energies, praying to God to deliver me, working to get perfect symmetry, mixing my drugs on my mystery. Fuck what you think that you did to me. Now that I'm doing it big, you belittle me. Act like a kid to me, better get rid of me. See the mirage, so I'm gone like infinity gone. Sipping codeine while I'm singing the song. Got that zipper OG with some beats in the bomb. It's the flipper and me, I compete like LeBron. No defeat for the guys, I'm in yeast and rock. Part of my polo and Kodo the Kaza. I lean like a cholo, this photo is violent. We wildin'. We wildin', hey. Free all my niggas, we breaking our silence. I seem to go crazy and base it on science. I look to Orion to look at who I am. Return to the Zion, I live in defiance. Oh, hey. Let you know, hey. I brought that water to the beach. Damn, I flipped that sand up on the weekend. Yeah. I got no conscience, no retreat. Hey, my niggas wildin' for no reason. I brought that water to the beach. Damn, I flipped that sand up on the weekend. Yeah. I got no conscience, no retreat. Hey, my niggas wildin' for no reason.